Hey, what's up guys? Brad with Squared Away Every Day, and I just got done filming the video, Tesla gave me a new car. That's an important video to watch if you're gonna be watching this video to really get the full idea of what this car is, how it came to be. And this is not some rare car because I did some aftermarket stuff to it. No. This is a rare car because of all the little odd quirks and features to the car that are stock from Tesla. I didn't do any of this, and they all kind of add up to make it the most unique configured Tesla on the planet. And so essentially you'll need to check out the video, which is Tesla stole my car. And then you'll also need to check out the video, which is the most, Tesla gave me a new car. And if you don't want to see any of that, that's fine. I'll give you a quick little recap here. Now, essentially what happened is I'm sitting in a Performance Model 3, a Stealth Performance Model 3 to be exact. We'll cover that in a different video, what a Stealth Performance Model 3 is. But essentially, I have a Stealth Performance Model 3 that got downgraded to a long-range dual motor, and then again upgraded to a Performance Model 3, and it actually gained new features and benefits that no Stealth Performance Model 3 has on Earth. And so let's kind of talk about that here. And we'll start with the outside of the car, the exterior, and we'll just kind of start talking about all the little features that make this the most uniquely configured Tesla on Earth. Let's take a look at the exterior. The exterior of this thing, the paint code is a Obsidian Black. Now, this is a more rare paint code than the highly sought after silver Teslas, and they made less of these Obsidian Black cars than they did even the silver Teslas, and that's a very rare paint code in itself. So the Obsidian Black, they ran for a short time, and then they discontinued it, turning to Piano Black Teslas, and then eventually to Solid Black Teslas. And I think there's maybe one other variant of just like Solid Black Tesla name-wise that they have in there, but Obsidian Black. And so you can see this is a metallic paint job. It's got metal flake or a metallic undertone to it, and it is a black base is essentially what it is. And so the paint scheme itself is very rare. Now, already the Stealth Performance Model 3s are somewhat of a unicorn in the Tesla space, not just the Model 3s, but in the Tesla space. It is a very unusual and very rare or uniquely configured Model 3. And essentially what it is it is a performance motor inside of a standard long-range shell. It doesn't have the suspension that a Performance was, the brakes, the wheels, the carbon fiber spoiler, or the sport pedal set. All it has in the car is the Performance motors. Now it's a little more detailed than that. And again, I will be making a video which is what is a Stealth Performance Model 3. And to this point, I've seen a bunch of those videos, but everybody just hits on just a basic high level what I just told you here. There's a lot more to what a Stealth Performance Model 3 is, and they're a lot more rare than people really think they are. Now, I'll make a video, I'll link to it up here if I've already made that. If not, it'll be out within the next like 7 to 10 days. Now, in the Stealth Performance Model 3s, they do not have track mode available in the Stealth Performance Model 3s because the suspension and wheel combos are set up in a way that they are not built to handle the torque spec of the Performance motors. So for a safety concern, they took the track mode out of the Stealth Performance Model 3s, and essentially all you have is just a really fast car. You don't have anything else. You just have a really fast car. You don't have the suspension, nothing else. Now, for me, somebody who lives in Colorado, and I'm in the mountains all the time, I like having just the standard suspension. And that's because I get an extra 1.5 to 2 inches of ground clearance versus having the sport suspension on the car. So I personally really like having the additional ground clearance, and I don't really care about the upgraded suspension at all. So for me, I've always really dug the Stealth Performance Model 3 configuration. Now, not only is it a Stealth Performance Model 3, but is configured with track mode. This particular car is configured with track mode. So you've got the drift settings you can do, you've got the race mode you can do, all under the umbrella of the track mode configuration. So this is a track-enabled Stealth Performance Model 3, which is no other Performance Model 3, no other Stealth Performance Model 3 has that on the planet. I can guarantee you of that, and it's because it's a safety concern with Tesla. Here's the kicker. Here's why I'm able to get all this in the first place. The VIN number on this car is also not a performance VIN. Even on the Stealth Performance Model 3s, they have a performance VIN number. And of course, on the regular configured Performance Model 3s, they too have a performance VIN number. This one does not. This car was never meant to be a performance model ever. It never was. And this car has a standard VIN. So for me to insure this car, it's cheaper than my 2017 Overland Tacoma to insure this car because it's just registered as a long-range dual motor vehicle. Now, that is the reason that I had such a hard time getting my car configured back to a performance model. There are people that have had a Stealth Performance Model 3 where the car gets downgraded like overnight to a long range. They go into Tesla the next day, and with a simple firmware update, they put it back to a performance model. But that's because those were a performance VIN on that vehicle. It's actually marked as a performance vehicle on the VIN number. This particular car is not. It is actually a long range dual motor. So I don't know how much I really want to say about this, but there were some shady dealings to how this car actually got its performance upgrade in the first place. So before this car was delivered, it got a performance firmware update on it before the car was even delivered to the original owner. I'm the second owner. We don't know how this happened exactly, and I'm pretty sure there were some heads that rolled as a result of this. There was either two scenarios that happened. One was that Tesla, back in the day when this was happening, Tesla was so close to actually reaching bankruptcy, and still they do this practice today. But when the end of quarter rolls around, they push out every vehicle they can. If you can't pick up that vehicle, it doesn't matter if it took a year for that vehicle to come in. If you can't pick it up before end of quarter, they will sell that vehicle out from underneath you. So this is what I was told from the guy I bought the car from. He told me that he was in Italy at the time. The car came in for delivery. He couldn't pick it up in time. And the manager of that dealership said, hey, just let us sell this car. When you get back in the country, we'll get you the same configured car within like a week of you being back. And he was like, okay, fine, I'll do that. So it was either that manager that took just a standard long-range dual motor car and they upgraded it to a performance car with their software team just to kind of get cars out the door, and it was a very unconventional way of doing it. Or what happened was it was a handshake deal from the previous owner, the guy I bought the car from, which he did have connections, high-level connections at Tesla. It was a handshake deal to where he just had a long-range dual motor car coming in, and they threw the performance firmware on the car. And you're probably thinking, how are they doing that? Aren't these different motors than just like a standard long-range motor? It's really complicated. I'll put it in the other video, which is what is a Stealth Performance Model 3. If I've already done that video, I'll throw it up here. What is a Stealth Performance Model 3? I've seen, just a little side note, I've seen a bunch of videos on what is a Stealth Performance Model 3, and everybody just hits on the high notes, which is it doesn't have the brakes or the suspension or whatever. But there's a lot more to it in terms of what the Stealth Performance Model 3 really is. It's very interesting, and those cars are much more rare than people really think. And so if you've got one, hold on to that thing because they're incredibly rare, and this is the king of them all. So essentially what we've got now is a car with a very rare paint scheme, which is the Obsidian Black. It's got a VIN number that is not linked to any sort of performance car. It's just a standard long-range dual motor. And this is a Stealth Performance Model 3, which they're already rare, but it has track mode enabled. Now, I know some of you are probably thinking to yourselves, let me just cancel this out real quick. Some of you are probably thinking to yourselves, well, that's stupid because the next guy to get the car when you sell it is going to have the problems where it downgrades and da-da-da-da-da. Or you're going to have that problem again potentially. And no, I will not, because I have email confirmation from Tesla specifically confirming this is a permanent addition and upgrade to the vehicle. It cannot be removed. And if I sell the car, it will stay on the car and it will never be downgraded to a long-range dual motor again. Not only do I have the email confirmations, I have 2, maybe 3 service appointments that are, no, maybe it's just 2, 1 or 2 service appointments that are configured to this specific VIN that say in the service appointment, upgraded for an official upgrade from a long-range dual motor to a performance model Tesla. And so that is why I have the track mode enabled, and I have the fast performance engines, or not engines, motors in the cars, because they don't have a configuration these days for a performance model car not to have track mode. And so that's how I've got it. So I've got this super rare car that I'm super excited about. It's new to me, and it's the most rare configured Tesla on earth. I'm so excited about it, and it's crazy cheap for me to insure. And yeah, so if you like this kind of stuff, I've got a Performance Model Y, I've got a Tesla Model S Plaid, and I have a 2017 fully built Overland Tacoma that I make videos on all of them. And so if you're into the Tesla thing or just cars in general or whatever, go ahead and give me a like on this video, give me a sub, and we'll see you in the next one.